This is Fulcrum with an urgent message. Thrawn knows about...
Welcome to another special episode of The Kessel Run. I have with me again Heather from the Whovian Perspective.
Hey!
And today we're getting together actually to talk about the latest Rebels episode, the season finale, 0 Hour. Heather, first thoughts?
Wow. I have written down in big capital letters, damn, that was a great episode. I thought that Grand Admiral Thrawn was amazing in this episode. Yeah, and he gets you every time. It's like, it's a trap, but
well, what I liked a lot more about this, and I know that we've been kind of learning about Thrawn, but he's still been kind of that enigmatic, mysterious kind of person. But in this episode, for the first time, we saw fear. Because his plan didn't go as according to plan. And I liked seeing him vulnerable. It gave another side to that character I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, that was really cool. And the whole time I just kept thinking the pride before the fall.
Absolutely.
The look on his face and the way they portray him is just really cool, I think.
He always creeped me out. Like the first time they introduced him, the way he just talks so soft and just very stoic. Like he shouldn't be a scary character, but he is. But I mean, it gives me the creeps seeing him on screen. I love it. The actor who plays his voice is amazing.
Yeah, I agree. And I really thought that it was fun, like whenever he's fighting Callus and he's like, look, I know that you're a good fighter, but you went to the Imperial Academy. Right. So how good could you really be?
I love that. I love the little digs because, and it was cool because you finally got to see a personality out of Thrawn. Because it's almost like he's kind of on that edge of almost unhinged, or he's getting there. Especially with how the episode ended with him and Bendu and everything. He's grasping at straws, and so I wonder if he is the character that will literally just lose it for vengeance and everything, which we've kind of seen in Darth Maul, or if he's going to keep being cold and calculated, and if he's going to continue the trajectory that he's on right now. Right.
I think he's going to learn and hopefully get. I don't know. I really see a future for him that if he can get over his pride and I
mean, we're talking about Thrawn here, though. I mean, he's pretty prideful, though.
Yeah, if he can get
himself.
Past that for 2 seconds, he might have actually been able to. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, and I love that it wasn't necessarily him who freaked himself out. He didn't make a mistake. It was he put his trust in one of the
other
commanders.
people.
Yeah. And then as soon as that happened, he got shaken because it was like, whoa, this is not what I planned. And then he was like, I hope this still goes according to, and he loses control. I thought that was really cool for the character.
Yeah, it was really cool. I really liked it. And Santo.
Oh, yeah. we say goodbye to, what was it, Captain or Commander? I think it was
Commander
yes.
Santo.
Commander Santo.
I really thought his end was fitting. I knew it was going to happen. I knew a lot of people were going to leave.
Oh yeah.
Well,
part of me started to feel like it might be Kanan, and it may be the Walking Dead fan in me, but the way he was talking to Ezra at the beginning of the show, I was like, oh, hold on now, that's not cool. Chill out. Let's not go say goodbyes or anything.
Yeah.
I was like, man, because Kanan would be huge, which I don't see them doing that in the near future. But I mean, there's also the part of we really don't know Kanan's fate. And we really don't know what happens to him, and so he can be on the chopping block. But I'm
right.
I had to remind myself that we were watching Rebels and not Walking Dead, so
right.
It's not quite as brutal. So as far as Bendu, that was an interesting twist, I thought.
That was.
What did you think about that?
My son, he's 11, and he was, oh, he should help, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I mean, if you truly want to remain neutral in a situation, you really can't help either side.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was cool how he came in as the cavalry, but at the same sense, like I was waiting, I was like, okay, did he pick a side? And then he hits one of the ships with a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Like, well, I think he's still ticked.
Yeah, I think he's still
I loved how he was still the middle and everything. But I'm curious about him though, because I know he's a force. Is it a force wielding creature or is it a force creature? I'm trying to.
I think it's. I don't know actually.
Because I know he is in tune with the light side and the dark, is what he says.
Right, he's in the middle.
He's the one in the middle. I don't know. Like, I guess we don't really know that much about him other than the few interactions that Kanan has had with him.
Right. I consider him in my brain somehow like an elemental from D&D.
Okay.
Where it's, I don't know, it's like probably a force, a creature made of the force. I have no idea though.
Well, I mean,
that's just like a.
I think that's probably the closest description we'd have to that.
Right.
But yeah, and so as far as Bendu and everything, that prophecy at the end with Thrawn, I loved how much that actually really did shake him.
It did. Yeah. It shook him to his core. It really.
Because even at that point, Thrawn was like, "I have you," and he had that confidence back again. And he was like, "But do you?
But do you really?"
Exactly. Where it's just kind of like, "No, I see your defeat," and I loved seeing that shake Thrawn so much that he's that much more surprised when Bendu just disappears.
He's gone. Yeah, I was surprised when Bendu was gone too. I knew he would, his body. I don't know. I kind of thought he would force die or whatever.
Yeah, he kind of pulled a Kenobi from A New Hope.
Right.
just disappear altogether. Nobody knows where he went.
Right.
I did have well, not really a complaint, but the storm of how Bendu just out of nowhere just appeared. Like I don't know. I kind of felt like that was like, even though it was warranted and it needed to happen, obviously, because of how they were building up him and putting him in the story and the fact that the Empire was attacking his planet and all that kind of stuff. I felt like the story at that point kind of made him seem like he was the cavalry. Like all of a sudden, oh, yay, the rebels are winning and everything. And it kind of played away to his man in the middle, other than that he hit one or two of their ships.
Right.
But
so we'll have to see which side he's on.
Right. I feel like I don't know if he's truly in the middle, is my thing. Yeah.
Because if he was truly in the middle, they would have been hit equally before then.
Because what does Bendu have to gain from saving the rebels, or even acting in that moment, period? Other than that he wanted them gone, but I mean, in the same sense, just let them fight and they'll eventually be gone. Right.
I thought it was funny because he got so mad at a word, coward.
Oh, yeah.
And, you're like, really? Someone of your stature and, being so thrown off by a word that's
kind of started feeling like playground insults for a second.
Exactly. Yeah. So I felt you there. I was like, So, yeah. So we'll see if he's really not in the middle, because if he wasn't before, he's probably not now at all.
Right. And I'm kind of wondering if we will see him again, especially as how much as he's been in this season.
Right.
I think we should. I at least think we should see him again, personally.
I agree. And maybe it'll be a while. Yeah, like a really long while.
Right,
but
exactly.
When we see him again, it'll be amazing.
Well, in the role that he played, and I mean, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion, but the role he played to Kanan kind of felt like Yoda to Luke. It was a different kind of Yoda, much different,
right?
But
much different,
yeah,
yes.
much angrier. but in the same sense, he really taught Kanan a lot about the Force that he didn't know before, and taught him how to harness it with him losing his sight and everything. And so that would be interesting to kind of see if Bendu does play out later, because I mean, obviously, you're not going to have the Force intervene too much. But then there's the part of how much does the Force actually take interest in the struggles that we see.
Right, but is the Force actually a sentient thing, or is it actually just weave, like a weave? Yeah, there's all kinds of
right
stuff you could go into.
I got you.
I don't know. I can, yeah.
So moving on through the episode, so we got to see a lot of your personal favorite character, Ezra.
Oh yeah, I did get
think?
worried that he needs a new master if he's going to become a Jedi. But he is right. He needs Kanan as a person. You know, like maybe it may not be the greatest traditional Jedi, but maybe it's a new generation, and it's okay to be a little bit of a rambunctious little whippersnapper.
Well, and with the original canon and everything, we see that that's what Luke's doing as well, and so he's not the only one doing his own thing. I mean, not for lack of trying, but in the same sense. So I think that'll be neat to see how the Jedi way is translated through, Kanan to Ezra, and how he takes it beyond his teachings. I think that'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah, and you know, see how adversity really can change something that you think is so set in stone, and then everything is challenged, and see how it morphs into something really cool. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I have hopes for him after this episode. He seemed to be able to hold his own a lot more than he does in prior episodes.
Right.
And so I saw a little bit of that growth that we talked about in our last episode. Just a little.
Yeah.
Not much, but just a little. So we had Ezra call for reinforcements. Now, I had a complaint about our Rebel Alliance. We'll use that term loosely, alliance.
Yeah.
Ezra goes for help. Mon Mothma turns him down, just like Rogue One. So this isn't the first time, but in Rogue One, oh no, we can't do this. Oh wait, they're already attacking? Let's join in. Like, what's up with that?
Man, I see where she's coming from, but that's the whole part of the rebellion is heart. You know, but I mean, she does have a lot of people that could be destroyed based on her making the bad decision. That's
true. I just feel like with the alliance, it doesn't feel much like an alliance, and I understand that it's young right now, but even in other iterations, anytime someone has called for help, it takes them basically going on a suicide mission for anybody to go, hey, we should probably help.
yeah, maybe we'll go. Okay,
I guess it's a good idea. I mean, we might as well. And so I don't know, like that kind of bummed me out a little bit, but I did like the lead-in though. How even though they that they had declined, we get to see Sabine again.
Exactly, and Mandalorian superior with the jetpacks and the fighting and stuff. I really liked Sabine's people.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah. And I thought it was cute that Mom was all like, no thanks. And then somebody finally said something. She's like, okay, fine.
Easily persuaded.
Yeah, I guess we'll go. It's like going to the mall.
Right. I mean, we might as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
I thought that was really neat, though.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I had a bit of a complaint myself. Is they're always changing how powerful a lightsaber can be. And now Kanan, as this isn't the first time he's done it, but he took a lightsaber all through an entire leg
I noticed that. Put
of
Luke
these
to
walker
shame.
things. I was like, what?
Right? That was the super lightsaber going through.
Yeah, and sometimes they have to sit there and slowly cut around in a circle to get a hole for them to go through. But if it's through a big thing, anyway, that was my little complaint I've been having about this season is they keep changing.
Oh, yeah. And then on top of that, Ezra's deflecting TIE fighter blasts and things like that. So, yeah.
They just keep getting more and more powerful. It's
It's like, lightsaber trumps everything.
Yeah. It's like a really messed up rock, paper, scissors.
Right? It's kinda, you're never going to win this one.
No,
lightsaber beats all.
Lightsaber.
Exactly. I thought it was cool with Rex and Zeb, kind of the reminiscent of Clone Wars, them setting up the little traps and everything. I thought that was cool to see Rex back in action with that.
Oh, he is so cool. And I really liked Clone Wars, and I really pulled for the clone troopers, even though they turned out. But, I mean...
It's not their fault.
It wasn't their fault,
Yeah.
and but wow.
Oh yeah, I wish there had been a lot more to Clone Wars. I hate that it ended how it did, but I mean, I guess it made the way for the Disney acquisition and all that kind of stuff. But
Right.
I'm glad they at least kept the Clone Wars as canon. I
Canon,
love that
right.
series so much.
Yeah, I think they would have had a issue if they hadn't have kept it, because that would be a big deal.
Absolutely.
I mean, bigger than even the books. I mean, the books are a big deal, but people get to see the movies and the shows and kids and Anyway, I think it would have been an even bigger deal.
Yeah. So one thing that I don't know, I guess I kind of felt was unfair. So after the battle, after they're wrapping up everything and they've gotten Agent Callus off of the planet and all that kind of stuff, and they've rescued him, they got him going, and Sabine walks up to Hera. He was like, "Hey, we've got our own fight. We're gonna need some help." And Hera's like, "No thanks."
Yeah, no thanks.
Got to go take care of my people. I'm like,
yeah.
And Sabine didn't? What is this?
I know. I thought the same thing. I was she's always so quick to go in and help whoever in whatever situation. And I love her for that reason. And then somebody really needed her help and she's just meh.
And they're in the middle of a civil war. It's not like Sabine was like, "Oh, we're not doing anything." It's just like in the middle of a civil war, their whole clan, all the clans are at war and everything. And yeah, we'll come take a break and come help you out. And hey, we need help with our civil war. No thanks.
Nah.
I thought that was kind of weird, but yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Right?
I'm washing my hair.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So where do you think the series is going from here?
I think
There's a
they're
lot
going
of stuff.
to have to rebuild a lot of stuff. And I think they should go to Mandalore and help them. And I think that'll help their rebellion a lot.
Absolutely.
And I have a lot of shoulds. I just don't have a lot of what they're actually going to do. I'm more of a just watch it and write it out and see what happens type
That's
gal.
cool. Yeah.
But
So it took me a couple times to watch it, but I didn't catch it until I think the second or third time I watched the last half of the episode where Rex, they're flying off and everything, and he's talking to, I can't remember the inventory droid's name, but him and Chopper, they're talking about going to Yavin.
Yes.
I didn't catch that the first time because I truth be told, I kind of tune out that droid. Anytime he's talking, he's not exactly my favorite character. Kind of gets on my nerves. But when I heard him say Yavin, I was like, oh my gosh. So we're that much closer to the original trilogy, to the original Rebellion that we all know and love and everything. I think that's going to be really cool to see build up.
It really is. It's ramping up, and I am very excited for it to see where they're going to take it.
And you know, the executive producer is going to be at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, and you're
yes,
going.
I am
so,
going.
yay.
Yeah, he's going to have a panel for Rebels, and from what I've read for the Rebels panels past, that's where they've always released the big information. That's where they introduced Thrawn and all the other ones, and so I'm really hoping for something really cool.
Oh, fun.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
Yes.
But yeah, I agree with you on the Mandalorians, though, that they definitely need to utilize that more, because I feel like that's been a planet that's kind of been to the wayside. Even though they kind of touched on it in Clone Wars, it had its own little arc. The history behind it and the fact that they're all basically natural-born warriors, and that's their code. I mean,
right.
If they were to go to one side or the other, I mean, as we saw with Gar Saxon, if they go to one side or the other, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
That planet could take down systems, I'm sure. So, yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see them in action.
I do, too. I think that they could really do a lot of good. I did want to say that there was a scene, because last episode that we talked, I said, as long as it doesn't go Harry Potter. And did you notice the scene where they were shooting the field?
Yes.
And that whole moment, I was like, Harry Potter.
I've seen that movie before.
I've seen that movie before. I thought it was so funny that it had to be that particular reference.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, I thought that was really funny. I thought it was a little strange, because that was one thing that I guess I kind of had complaint with in the episode, was that a lot of it seemed so fantastical that it was like, why? Like that scene. Why in the world are there going to be so many Star Destroyers shooting down on this tiny little spot, all the way up in space, but on this tiny little spot on the planet, just pelting it, but the force field holds? It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
The force field holds for a certain amount of time, and then Thrawn, that didn't know about a force field, knows exactly how long it's going to hold.
Right.
Because it's experimental technology. Yeah.
He's like, guys, I just want to rattle the cage. That's it. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I just want to,
tap on the fish tank.
Full barrage.
Right. Followed by the face in the sky and all. Like, it was a whole lot. Like, it was really cool visuals, and it was a really cool story.
It really was. It was visually just out of this world.
I just thought, like, there was a lot of it that was just kind of like, you were borderline about to lose me, but overall, I really, really enjoyed it. I'm really excited for the next season.
I am too. Did we get to Fulcrum?
No, we did not talk about Fulcrum.
I think that, did he know what he was getting himself into? Because I know he looked surprised when the signal got jammed and things in the very beginning, but I don't know. Surely he knew something was up.
Well, personally, I think that Callus actually kind of got in a frenzy. He started hearing things that freaked him out, and Thrawn knew that he was hearing the things that freaked him out. And so,
gotcha.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
Thrawn was technically a step ahead, and that's just what I think. And so when he got caught, he may have intended to get caught, but not in that way at that time.
No.
Yeah, he was definitely caught off guard. That was a cool fight scene between them, too, as well.
That was.
Really showing Thrawn in action. But yeah, I think that Thrawn at that point was ahead of him, and he didn't expect him to be so far ahead of him. So he kind of underestimated him. I only feel that way because at the end of the episode, he seems defeated. Like, Callus seems like he really escaped a huge ordeal, which he did.
He did. He lost everything. He lost everything.
His status, his position, everything. He's literally a man without a home, and so the rebels have taken him in. And so I'm curious as to how or what kind of play he'll have in the rebellion. That would be interesting to see. Again, this is Heather from the Whovian Perspective. Heather, where can they find you?
I'm at bodymadlady.com and the GWW Geeks Worldwide at thegww.com.
Sweet. And so she will have Doctor Who episodes, podcasts. She'll have episodes up talking all things Doctor Who. She's even got some cool articles up on the GWW. If you haven't checked out that Darth Maul obituary, please do. I've read it probably 20 times since then, and it's hilarious. I love it. So definitely check that out. And she's also on Twitter.
Yeah, Whovian Perspective. WHOV Perspective.
Awesome. So definitely give her a follow, guys. And again, thank you for joining us on the Kessel Run. Hopefully we'll be able to continue these Rebels episodes once the season starts back up, and definitely expect a special episode from Star Wars Celebration directly. And hopefully we'll have Heather back here soon.
Yay!
So thank you so much again for joining us. I'm Danny from the SuperpoweredFancast.com. You can find me on Twitter at SuperpoweredFan, Facebook SuperpoweredFancast, and you can email me at superpoweredfancast@gmail.com. And until next time, may the Force be with you.